Hi, welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host, Ainsley Brown, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about using the AEO program, or better known as the Authorized Economic Operator program, to grow exports within zones. Now, special economic zones are specially designated areas that governments use, and they're worldwide. There are thousands of them worldwide, typically associated with developing countries, but it's not just a developing countries thing. It is actually used worldwide. The United States has a zone program, so it is used by governments right across the board. These are designated areas that have a slightly separate laws or slightly separate or incentives that are associated with them. They're used to attract foreign investments, period, because it can be local or foreign, and they may have just slight different laws or modifications of existing laws. Like for example, particularly around incentives, you'll have duty-free access, meaning you bring in raw materials or you bring in building materials and from overseas, which would typically attract customs duties, but because they're in a zone, they don't. And they're called many names. Sometimes this leads to confusion. Free zones, um, export processing zones, industrial parks, foreign trade zones. It's all the same thing. It's specially designated areas that carry this designation, and then these specific rules apply, which are modifications of what typically happens in the rest of the economy. Now, using the AEO program, this is administered by customs throughout the world, and it's a World Customs Organization program, and this is the beauty of it, because it's a global program, and there's a particular element with it which can be used to grow exports, and well, there's two parts to it because it is about facilitation. um, it will help to grow exports, help to grow trade overall, right? But because what it does is, and this is just a basic example. Imagine there are three lines in terms of customs: a green line, an amber line, and a red line. Red line meaning they're gonna stop that shipment and go through it and search it and look at it. Just they may have some intelligence that there may be contraband or something in it. Maybe they find something, maybe they don't. But you're in the red line. The amber line is the regular line, what they normally do, in terms of assessing duties and doing their due diligence on you. And then the green line is you skip all of that, and that's the AEO line. Authorized Economic Operator. It's a special designation that you get, and it is not something that is counter to what zones are. It actually can work quite nicely together, but it does mean that you have to grant visibility to customs in terms of what's happening in the zones, and customs participation um, in zones, in terms of not just imports, exports, but perhaps even serving on the board, or serving in terms of the granting of licenses within special economic zones. That so there's a trade-off there that you have to balance, which can be a good thing, depending on the regime that you're in. Now, because it's a facilitation mechanism, it will naturally help to grow exports, particularly in small states where, well, overall states, I guess, you have to import to export because it's facilitating imports, right? Now, the brilliant part about this AEO program, as I said, it's global. So there's another aspect to it whereby there's a mutual recognition mechanism. Again, countries have to sign on to it. Two, countries also have to activate it, right? And then three, after activating, they have to go negotiate these mutual recognition things with another country. So country A, country B are both part of the AEO program. They recognize that there's a lot of trade going on between the two, and then they decide, hey, let's do a mutual recognition. So what it does is that it facilitates these AEOs will be in the green line. And so you're in the green line over here in country A, right? And you have a client in country B who's also AEO. So it's green line to green line. And that facilitates trade. Of course, there's some obligations. It's not just, oh, you're declared an AEO. There's a process by which and high levels of due diligence that are undertaken to be able to become a trader or exporter has to go undertake to be able to participate in this program. So once you cross those hurdles, then and of course you have to maintain that standard. It's not a set it and forget it. There's a standard that needs to be kept. And once you have done that, it's green line to green line. So things get accelerated, right? And if you have zone to zone, you see where I'm going now, zone to zone, AEO to AEO happening, so uh, country A, zone, client, person exporting whatever widget to country B, zone AEO, green line to green line. Let's say it takes 3 or 4 days in the amber line um, to clear a container. This may take 1 or 2. And in business, time is money. So that would be a brilliant way to go. So imagine you have now that widget is an input into production, right? Moving from country A to country B to produce, whatever widget that has come out as a final product. That then assists um, assists country B or the clients or companies within country B that are AEO within zones to produce much faster and be more competitive. In addition, now let's imagine country C is also AEO zone or zone AEO. That widget then moves to from that company moves to that zone, that country, that company, again, faster, right? So this is how basically the AEO program administered by customs can help or to facilitate even wider growth or export growth or trade growth in a country. So if you like this episode, please like, share, subscribe. If you want to see me do a particular topic, just leave me a comment down below. If you just want to say hi, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get right back to you.